you happy with last year's Tour de France? I mean, fourth, considering who was on the podium, and your brother included, was impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, I had a really good race. I also had a crash, just before the first rest day. I don't know how much that affected me. Had 2 bad days going into the second rest day.
Which stages? Bad days?
I don't know, completely blank now. Mont Blanc and the stage before, I forget the name of the climb. But it also comes down to a personnel thing, because those days, and I say I had a bad day. It was a really aggressive race, those 2 stages. And the first day, I was not able to get any bid-ins from the side of the car for 50 kilometres. Whereas other teams, they have the stuff on the side of the road where they can get every 10 kilometres they have personnel to give out bottles, but I'm waiting 50k, and it takes its toll, and then I lost time that day, and then I paid for it the next day. It was lucky that I had a rest day, but then I bounced back with a great performance in the TT, and then on the Queen stage to Courchevel, I was second, almost won the stage. In a way, different circumstances,
That seems simple enough to rectify. Is the team trying to change that, or is that?
It also comes down to a budget thing. These super teams, they have so much money and so many personnel. We're as a team, we're still trying to improve. It's not just myself. We're trying to rectify these things, but at some point, it just comes down to how many guys you have.
Those are the little things. As an example, a person handing out water bottles, but it's a whole array of things.
Yeah. And I mean, even other teams, they come with a soigneur for every rider. And so then you go to dinner earlier, you go to bed earlier, and you do that over for 3 weeks. It makes a difference. So these are the small things. I'm talking about 1%ers, even less than 1%ers, but they all add up. And I'm talking, over 3 weeks, 1 minute. It's,
not that much.
You'd have to. I'm not good at maths. That's why I'm a bike rider. But it's very small margins.
But you said, you're a one-man team. You've only ever been with this team as a pro. That's pretty rare these days. Have you considered going to one of the super teams or going somewhere else?
I've never had the opportunity so far. No one's come searching. I would never say no to that, but I'm also very, very happy where I am. I get a lot of freedom from other things in my life, training camps and stuff like that. I get to organise my own, so I can go away with family and take my dog, and live a relatively normal life. And when I go away, I'm very professional. I've never come down from a training camp at altitude going badly, and I actually enjoy getting away and really concentrating on that. So in that regard, it's also why would I change when I have those sort of freedoms?
This is your team.
Already.
That's what I mean. As someone else, when I was in Australia, this conversation came up, and somebody said it would be strange to imagine you without the team now. I've been here for a long time now. I think I'm coming on to 10 years with the team. So it's been a long time, and I still feel completely a part of the team, and we have a great understanding about one another. So I'm not searching to change.
What is it about 2023 that made you decide how to do this schedule in 2024? It's a very abbreviated schedule.
Of course, the start of the year is very important for us now. Last year I did Down Under. Of course, we have Jayco on board as the main sponsor. He's been Jerry. He's been a huge sponsor of the team for its entire existence. And of course, Alula now coming on board is even more important. And I think there was a period there after Tour Down Under last year where I sort of missed a bit of racing. I went back up to altitude and I started training, but it was quite a long time. And when I got to Paris-Nice, just sort of missed that race sharpness. So that's why we decided to come here. Firstly, because it's an important race, but secondly, just to keep the legs turning over and and be ready for the racing. And then when you shoot, after that, it's a relatively similar program over a couple of changes here and there. But like I said before, when I go away for a training camp, I always come down flying. So normally when I go to a race, I just get more tired. In past years, I come down for the warm-up race and have better form there than my actual target. So last year we just sat down and said, well, why don't we just go straight from the training camp to the Tour?
So what's your schedule? You're doing Alula and
Alula. I'm going to do Strada Bianchi because there's a gravel stage of the Tour, so test the equipment. Last time I raced on the on the Pave, Strada. We were on completely different equipment, had a different bike, different tyres, different wheels. So it'd be good to test that. And then there's not enough. I would prefer to do Paris, but there's not enough time to get there. So I'll do Torino, which I've already won before, and which is why I want to go to Paris, if that makes sense. Then I'll have a bit of a break, do Basque Country, and then I'll do the Ardennes.
Okay, and then what about this Tour de France? I mean, because you talked about the gravel, it's really a tour that you must be looking forward to, because it seems like a really aggressive, punchy Tour de France.
Yeah, I mean, even there's an extra time trial in there, if I'm not mistaken, and I've been time trialing really well now. I think since we had the change in equipment 2 years ago now, I think I've been. You have to quote me, correct my. I think I've been in top 10 of every TT I've done. Maybe you have to fact check me on that one, but I've not really had any bad performances. So that's maybe somewhere I can also, maybe make some gains. Last year's tour was only the one time trial where I managed to put quite a bit of time into some of my rivals. Maybe with more TTing, and it just shifts the the goalposts a little bit. So we'll see.
How are you? Are you on 90%? Are you 100%? Or how difficult it is to be good now and to be good when the targets are coming?
Yeah, no, it is difficult. You definitely feel that in the racing, and I think I'm not 100%. I think it's too early for that. And if you ever have such a high peak now, you would need a break earlier than the Ardennes. But it is difficult. You see that. I mean, on Wollonga. The stage there, my numbers were through the roof, and I turned around and there was 10 blokes still there, and normally if I would do those numbers it would be like one guy, let's say. So it is difficult and it's challenging, but it's
difficult in the mind also. I think you have to be experienced to handle this kind of thing, because Alaphilippe is there, but all the young guys are there.
Yeah. But it's great for the sport. I think you're seeing so much more exciting racing. Of course, it makes it harder for us old blokes now to get results. But you're seeing so much, young, fresh talent. Who also they just take so much more risks in racing. They don't have any pressures to win or anything, and that really creates a proper racing dynamic. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes on for the rest of the year. Hopefully they get tired.
We have this Tour de France that starts in Florence, ends in Nice. It's very unique. You talked about the route, and we have these, besides yourself, but we have a lot of attention on the riders that are starting on the start line, and I think you're familiar with those 4 riders that everybody's looking at. What is it about all this attention on this race, and what do you think that's special about 2024?
You can just take it back. It's not even just this year. I think the Tour is the pinnacle of the sport. There's no denying that. And there is, I just think the level that we're at now, I think these guys are really going after the big prize straight away. There's a lot of, like I was saying before, there's a lot of youth coming into from the sport now, and they're hungry for success straight away. And that's really showing. They want to go after the Tour straight away. They don't want to wait and go, to the Giro or the Vuelta. They really want to go straight for the Tour with the big prize, and you're seeing that now.
Yeah, we saw that with Isaac Del Toro, and Tour Down Under really got everybody's attention there. And what does your brother say about Poggy and like his thing racing the Giro and then the Tour? What do you guys talk about this excitement that's building up for the Tour de France? I mean, because us as cycling journalists, and I think talking to the fans, everybody's pretty amped for the Tour de France, and having Remco, having Jonas there, and having Rog and a new team, and you guys going at it. What are you guys talking about amongst yourselves?
To be honest, we don't speak that much about it right now. We're always speaking about more what's coming up recently. He's obviously starting probably UAE or somewhere soon. He always goes back there and wants to do a good performance there, but. Of course, with him being on that team is a little bit different for me. First and foremost, he's a domestique for Pogacar, or even any of the other 6 guys who are going at this point. And it's just, I think they have a bit of a different mindset to what we have. They're after the big prize only, whereas we're sort of, we're happy with the podium. And I think that's a really, big difference in mindset also from how we race. And how even just the training and stuff like that, you really see it. I think when my bro and we go training together, he's talking about it. He's thinking about it at all times. This is the big prize. So it's intense from that point of view. Whereas I have a little bit less pressure there.
You're not going to come out and say, I have a shot to win the Tour de France. You're not kidding yourself.
Myself? No, I'm not going to say that. Much more experience. I mean, in the past maybe I would say that. But
not though. Don't you have to go into that mentality?
Oh, internally I do, but I've learned from experience that you're not allowed to say that in cycling media. So now I've tried to play it cool.
Well, and as you talked, I mean, you talk about UAE going in with the objective to win. You guys going in with the objective of a podium.
Yeah, but then you get to the race and you never know what happens. You never know what the form says. And my bro was never thinking about a podium when he started the tour last year. And now I know he's stepped onto the podium of the tour. It's a huge thing for any rider. So you just never know. I keep my eyes open, trying to take any opportunities that come my way, and you never know. You never know in sport. Nothing in sport is guaranteed.
How's things within between you and your brother? Because we all love that stage there, stage 1 in the Bilbao.
Yeah, of course. Year. Yeah, no, we're really close. Nothing's changed between us. Still love riding our bikes, and whenever we are together in one place, we always go to ride together. So
he just took the stage in the yellow jersey from you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that's how it goes. I've already got 2 stages of the tour, so I'm still one up on him.
Is it bad luck that Pogacar and Vingegaard came? Because at a certain moment, you were the big guy, you won the Vuelta on an extremely nice way, and then...
Yeah, I mean, but I think the sport changed from those years on. I think even 2019, the sport was changing, and there's a lot of development on the nutritional side, on the aerodynamic side, it's not really stopped from that point. So that's just one of those things. I've also gotten better. You sit down and you look at my performances on my my power files. I've also improved, but the sport is just really such a high level now that you can't miss anything. You can't have even a half bad day. But that's what it's about. I'm still motivated to improve myself. So like I keep saying now, just looking for that little bit more with the tour.
You see Remco who's coming, see Pogacar a team for him, Vingegaard a team for him. You have still a sprint in your. You have still 2 camps or 2 targets.
Yeah, but I don't mind. I think I went to many Giros with a team fully around me, and a lot of bad luck happened around that. And I don't think it's smart to do that for our team. These super teams, these teams that go there just solely on GC. I think they do have the riders and the resources to put everything behind it. And if something goes wrong, then they have a backup plan. Whereas for us, we're working on a much smaller budget, and it's not really feasible, I believe. I quite enjoy having a sprinter in the team as well. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of pressure away from me, and the focus even just during the day. I can sort of relax and take care of myself on those sort of sprint days. Just need 1 or 2 guys around me, and that's fine. So I think that's the plan again this year. I mean, last year they were my best numbers I ever did. So I mean, I don't know if I can keep improving. I hope so.
Yeah.
And like I say, I'm still motivated. I'm getting older now. Just the Tour Down Under, for some reason I checked the start list and now a team popped up and I was the second oldest in the team, and it didn't really register yet that I was one of the veterans of the team. But I still feel young. I still feel motivated to do better and to improve myself and to go after the highest of heights. And we'll see if I can do that.
You're still dreaming. You have already 32 victories, I think, or 31. Giro, Vuelta, Tour de France. Are you still dreaming? What's the big dream you have after 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, like I said before, I'm still motivated. I'm still, I'm getting on.
I have to have that for being my career completed.
No, I don't think it's like that. I was like that in certain parts of my career, but I think as I get older, I think there is bigger things than sport in life. Of course, I want to achieve more, and I want to go out, have my own sort of legacy, if that makes sense. And if I get the podium this year or the years to come, then I'll be extremely happy with that. But we'll see what that brings.
What's given you that perspective? Like, what are the other things that are outside of cycling that you?
No, I just think you just. I mean, when I was younger, you just completely focused on cycling as a whole. I mean, it really absorbs your life, and as life goes on, you get a family, you get a dog, and you realise that cycling is just a small part of your life.
You are frustrated that you don't win Paris-Nice, but there's another enormous.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and it's never that I go to a race and I don't give 100%, and I'm not completely motivated to try and win, and I take the risks to win. It's just that I know that after that I don't have to be upset or angry with myself that I didn't pull it off. Life goes on, and I can try again next year or the next race.
Okay,
Simon, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you enormous.